Hi, I'm Paul Hendler. I developed and implemented a project planning and management system over the past 12 years. It keeps you within project budget and timelines and prevents scope creep. I will walk you through the business process. The first phase is decide to do a project. There are 3 key decision-making points here. A document drives each decision. There is a simple but effective matrix to complete to clarify whether your work sectors and services offerings align with the advertised scope of work and required deliverables. Similarly, we use a matrix to make explicit that our expertise meets the expertise required. And finally, we have a simple but powerful method for recording our assessment of potential collaborators. You might decide not to do a potential project, but if you decide positively, the next phase is plan the project. Here the crucial decisions are around agreements and subcontracts with team members, and then preparing the allocation of project preparation work. First, you and your team need to set out a protocol for working together. It's called a Team Operating Agreement, or TOA. This ensures there are no critical misunderstandings when you are deep into the project work and under deadline pressure. Every project has a client who pays the project costs. In this system, it's the SA government. We developed it through tendering and managing projects for various government spheres. Your client could be a private organization, in which case they will have a unique contract. The National Treasury's General Conditions of Contract, or GCC, identifies specific risks that are traded onto you and your team. You need to trade these risks down onto your subcontractors. You do this through a subcontract agreement with your team members. This one covers lengthy clauses governing intellectual property and confidentiality. And this one is a shorter and simpler subcontract. Which type of subcontract you use depends on the type of main contract you sign. The key issue is that you have traded down your risks onto your subcontractors. Once you have agreed subcontract, you allocate project preparation tasks across your team. This is to avoid the burden of project planning falling on the shoulders of only 1 or 2 people. As a team, you have decided to bid for the advertised project. You now are ready to do the major work, which is developing the project plan. Here there are 4 key decision-making points. 12 documents drive these decisions. Communicate clearly to your team members, as well as the photocopier and courier, what is expected of them in order to complete the plan. Package the bid and submit the project proposal. This is a standard document for communicating instructions to the photocopier. Don't leave this for the last minute. This way you mitigate the risk of mistakes. As the main bidder, you need to identify all the documents required of yourselves. This checklist will ensure that you do not omit any. Likewise, your subcontractors need to have a checklist of all the documentation required of them. When communicating with your subcontractors, you need to give them clear instructions what documents they should submit and also how they should customize their CVs. This is a generic email message which has been customized for a specific tender that we bid for. And here is a sample of a CV that was customized for that tender. If you are submitting a bid to a SA government client, then you should start completing the standard bid documents, or SBDs. Pictured here is a sample of the front page of a completed SBD1 document. Usually there are 9 SBDs. Don't leave these SBDs for last-minute completion. A mistake here can result in your disqualification. Now develop the detailed product flow, or DPF, a list of all the products you have to deliver to the client. Your entire project team needs to review the DPF before you finalize it. Having finalized the DPF, you develop the detailed work activities, or DWAs. This is the scope of work. All team members should review the DWAs before you finalize them. Now allocate professional hourly rates and person hours to each team member for the DWAs allocated to them. Use our project plan and resource calculator Excel model. Enter travel, accommodation and subsistence costs, project preparation and administration costs, finder's fees, BE fees, head office fees, individual profit margins and VAT. The slide shows the front page of instructions in the first tab of the Excel model. Next, assemble the technical offer by cutting and pasting the relevant information into a pre-formatted technical offer template. This slide shows a section of the technical offer that shows the qualifications and project role of each team member in a bid. From the Excel resource calculator, cut and paste the financial resources allocated to each phase, as well as to each member of the project team. This slide shows the charge-out rates and costs for each team member, disbursements and VAT in respect of a bid. You also construct a Gantt chart to show project rollout over time. The photocopier prints and binds this with the technical and financial offers to form the bid package. Before handover to a courier, you need to check that all required documentation is in the package. This slide shows a checklist of items that are usually necessary for bids to the SA government. After you win the tender, you have to manage the project. A sound project plan makes project management easier. Despite the best laid plans, there will always be contingent events that you could not predict. Our system provides 4 documents to drive your response to contingencies. The first is the project inception report, which is the agreed trigger to start the project. The second is the issue log. Here you note the specific challenges that have arisen and action them for submission to the client. You record the origination and development of an issue and track its status. You lay the basis for whatever project change, adjustment, submissions you make. Team and client project meetings form a critical part of record keeping. These meetings should be effective and efficient. To do this, you need a structured agenda and meeting pact. And finally, you need to succinctly record the discussion as well as the actions and responsibilities that arise from these meetings. The latter will form some of the content for the following meeting. Confirmation of actions agreed is a form of project progress evaluation. You can purchase the entire set of process maps, document drivers, and the Excel model. Alternatively, you can buy selected document drivers that suit your needs. We also provide segmented courses through webinars and full course 2-day contact sessions. Visit our website for more information.